April 26th, 2025, St. Peter's Square is drowned in sorrow. Millions gather, mourning Pope Francis, the Father of Mercy. But amidst the sea of people, a 16-year-old girl is doing something no one expects. Sofia, frail, carries a basket of white lilies, weaving through the crowd, placing flowers in the hands of those who weep. Each flower bears a small note with the words, "Forgive, for God sees you." Why is this girl doing this? What drives her on this day of farewell? 10 years ago, in a Buenos Aires slum, one man changed her life. Pope Francis, then visiting the poor, gave Sofia a single white lily. He wrote for her, a 6-year-old, "Forgive, for God sees you." That flower gave her hope. Those words gave her faith. Now, Sofia brings hundreds of flowers to the Vatican to comfort millions of hearts. But a secret in the final note will shake the world. What small act ever soothed your head? Sofia, 16 years old, moves through St. Peter's Square, clutching a basket of white lilies. She hands a flower to an old woman sobbing, a man praying in silence. Each flower carries a small note, its trembling words, "Forgive, for God sees you." The crowd whispers, eyes following the frail girl, her name a mystery to all. Who is this girl? Why is she doing this at the Pope's funeral? Sofia, I don't know you, but this flower feels like light in my heart. Sofia gives a faint smile, keeps walking, though her breaths are short, her heart faltering. She has a congenital heart condition, each step a challenge, yet she presses on. 10 years ago, in a Buenos Aires slum, Sofia was just an orphan child. She was hungry, clothed in rags, lost in the crowd at an open-air mass. Then a man approached, his eyes gentle, filled with boundless compassion. It was Pope Francis in 2015, visiting the poor of his homeland. He took a white lily from a bouquet offered to him, placing it in Sofia's hands. He scribbled on a small note, "Forgive, for God sees you." Sofia, I held that flower so tight because it was the first time I felt loved. Those words gave me faith, made me believe God saw me, even as a child. The Pope signaled to a priest, asking him to find a foster family for Sofia. That priest brought me to the girl, her eyes shining as she held the flower. From then on, Sofia had a foster mother, a home, and a reason to live. Her foster mother says Sofia never forgot that flower or the man who gave it. She painted pictures, sold them, saving every penny for this very day. Sofia used that money to buy hundreds of white lilies before coming to the Vatican. Last night, she wrote each note by hand, tying them to every flower until her hands shook. I saw Sofia last night, writing by candlelight, tears streaming down her face. She wanted to honor the Pope, the man who gave her a new life. Sofia keeps moving, giving flowers to a child, a young nun, a weary pilgrim. The nun watches Sofia, sensing a quiet fire in the girl's eyes. This girl, I've never met her, but her heart is like a flame in the darkness. The crowd notices, white lilies spreading across the square like a silent prayer. Sofia, you remind me that mercy still lives, even in our grief. A local priest whispers, I've heard of a girl and the Pope's flower long ago. But Sofia doesn't know. The final note she gives holds a profound secret. A secret that could make millions weep, just as the Pope did for her. Sofia, you keep walking, though your heart is weak, because you believe God sees you. What small act ever soothed your heart? A flower, a note, or a glance that touched your soul? Sofia walks on, hands trembling, giving the final white lily from her basket. She smiles at a child, but her eyes blur. Her breathing grows labored. Her heart beats erratically, her congenital condition pulling her down. Suddenly, Sofia collapses in St. Peter's Square, the last note slipping from her hand. The crowd stirs. A young nun rushes to her, lifting Sofia, eyes filled with panic. "Girl, are you okay? Dear God, please let her breathe again." The nun picks up the fallen note, reading, "Forgive, for God sees you." But then she freezes. A strange signature on the paper. Jorge Bergoglio. Jorge Bergoglio? That's the true name of Pope Francis. I've heard of an orphan girl in Buenos Aires, saved by him 10 years ago. The nun hands the note to a nearby priest, Vatican light shining upon them. The priest's eyes well up. This is his signature. I know it from old letters. Sofia, you're the girl of the flowers, bringing his legacy to this place. The crowd gathers closer, whispering about the girl and the miraculous note. Sofia, what have you done? This flower makes my heart skip a beat. I hold your flower, and I feel his mercy coming alive again. Sofia slowly opens her eyes, breathing faintly, but smiling at the nun. I just wanted to thank him, for he gave me a new life. Sofia's foster mother runs to her, embracing her tightly, tears streaming down. My child, you've done what no one dared, even with your fragile heart. I know you never forgot the flower he gave you 10 years. A Vatican cardinal hears the story, stepping closer to the final note. This isn't just a note, it's a mark of the mercy he left behind. Sofia, your act reminds us that God sees every suffering heart. The crowd begins to sing hymns, white lilies raised high across the square. Sofia, you make me believe a small act can heal the whole world. But Sofia's story doesn't end here, for that note will travel further. A secret has been revealed. But what awaits this young girl? His mercy, through Sofia, will touch millions of other hearts. I stand here, holding this flower, and I know God sees me, as he said. What small act ever soothed your heart? A flower, a note, or a glance that touched your soul? Sofia's story spreads like wildfire through St. Peter's Square. The young nun recounts, I saw the note with Jorge Bergoglio's signature. My heart trembled. It's not just a signature. It's the mark of the Pope's boundless mercy. The priest holds the note, telling the crowd, Sofia is the girl of the flowers. She carries his legacy, from Buenos Aires 10 years ago to the Vatican today. Sofia, your act reminds me that God sees every suffering heart. A young journalist overhears, snaps a photo of the note, posts it online. I'm a journalist, and this story I have to share with the whole world. The 16-year-old girl with a weak heart gave hundreds of flowers to honor him. Within hours, the post spreads globally, from Rome to Tokyo, Nairobi to New York. Parishioners in Brazil whisper, I read about Sofia. I want to give lilies too. Youth in Manila say, I'll write notes like Sofia to heal broken hearts. Sofia, you don't know it, but your act is moving millions of people. A Vatican cardinal stands before the proud, raising the final note high. Sofia, you show us that his mercy lives on in every single flower. Your small act is a flame, igniting faith across the world. Sofia's foster mother embraces her, saying, You've made me proud no matter how frail you are. I didn't think my story would spread. I just wanted to thank him. But Sofia, God sees you, as he told you 10 years ago in Buenos Aires. Churches worldwide start a movement called the Flower of Mercy. Youth in Paris tie notes to lilies, giving them out at Mass. Children in Mexico bring flowers to the poor, writing, "Forgive, for God sees you." I stand in a small church in London, holding a flower, and I feel him. Sofia, you gave me faith that one flower can change a heart. The journalist writes on. Sofia's story reaches every corner of the globe. I see youth in Sydney holding lilies, singing hymns for Sofia and him. This girl's story isn't just about flowers. It's about eternal mercy. From the Vatican, a message spreads. Sofia is the light of his legacy. I'm a parishioner in Seoul. I'll give flowers because Sofia showed me how to love. But what comes next for this story, now that the world knows Sofia's name? What small act ever soothed your heart? A flower, a note, or a glance that touched your soul? The Flower of Mercy movement spreads from the Vatican to every corner of the globe. Youth in India hold lilies, tie notes, and give them to strangers on the streets. Parishioners in Nigeria sing hymns, hand out flowers in church, thinking of Sofia. Sofia, you've lit a flame that Pope Francis left for all of us. In Buenos Aires, the poor receive flowers from children, reading, "Forgive, for God sees you." A girl in Cairo, I give flowers because of Sofia, because of him, because of mercy. The small act of a 16-year-old girl is now a wave sweeping the planet. Sofia, I stand here holding a flower, and I feel God closer than ever. Churches in Europe hold masses, calling for flowers to honor his memory. Children in Japan write notes, tie them to lilies, place them before altars. I'm a priest in Rome. I see his legacy living on through Sofia. Social media floods with images, white lilies, and notes everywhere. I saw a post from Canada, youth holding flowers, writing, "God sees you." Sofia, you don't know it, but your name is now a symbol of hope. Sofia's foster mother sits beside her, holding her hand, eyes shining with pride. My child, you've done something great, though your heart is weak, though you only wanted to thank him. I know he's smiling, because you've brought his mercy to the world. The young nun stands in the crowd, recalling the moment she lifted Sofia up. I saw your note, his signature, and I knew God had chosen you. Sofia, you're a small light, but that light shines through all darkness. A Vatican cardinal sends a message. Sofia is the Pope's gift to us all. She reminds us that one flower, one note, can heal the whole world. His mercy never dies because Sofia has kept it alive forever. I'm a parishioner in Vietnam. I hold a lily, and I believe in God's love. Youth in South Africa sing, "We give flowers for Sofia, for him, for faith." Sofia, 10 years ago, he gave you a flower, and now you've given one to the world. I stand in a small church, holding a note, and I know God sees me. This movement is his legacy, Sofia's legacy, the legacy of eternal mercy. From one 16-year-old girl, the world learns to love as he loved. Sofia, you are the flower of mercy, blooming forever in millions of hearts. What small act ever soothed your heart? A flower, a note, or a glance that touched your soul? You've heard Sofia's story, the 16-year-old who changed the world with a lily. Now it's your turn. Join the Flower of Mercy movement. Buy a white lily. Write a note. Forgive, for God sees you. Give it to someone at church, on the street, or in your community. One small act, like Sofia's, can heal a hurting heart. Snap a photo of your flower. Post it online. Tag Flower of Mercy. Share Sofia's story so his mercy reaches everyone. Sofia did it, though her heart was weak, because she believed God saw her. You can do it too, because God sees you as he said. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications To catch more stories like this, comment below. Tell us about a flower that soothed your heart. What small act will be your flower today?